A bus company serving both Derbyshire and Notts suddenly ceased trading and stopped services today. Yourbus made the announcement this morning. It ran services including the Y5 from Nottingham to Derby and the Y10 for Eastwood. East Midlands bus operator Trent Barton stepped in to accept Yourbus tickets on its services today.
The bus company stops running services across Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire. The bus company Yourbus, which serves Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire, has stopped trading, confirming the news this morning on its Facebook page.
Well, the operator ran 23 services across the two counties, as well as a number of school routes as well. Our reporter Danny Crawshaw is at the company's headquarters in Heanor in Derbyshire for us. Danny, this was all quite sudden. Has any reason been given yet?
No, so far just a statement on the company's website saying that it has ceased trading and thanking customers for their support over the years. You can see all the buses behind me in the depot. Now, the company began in 2009. As you said, 23 routes in Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire. And earlier on, I spoke to some passengers at Derby bus station who say they're disappointed.
Very annoyed. That was my favourite bus. Yeah, very annoyed. And the drivers were lovely on that bus. Really was. It's a big shape. We all like that bus.
Sad, really, because you've not got the choice then, have you? And I liked the Y5 because it was a quieter bus as well. I think it was electric.
It's unclear how many drivers are affected. Now, earlier on, I did actually speak to one of the drivers who's lost their job. He didn't want to go on camera, but he did tell me he thinks that around 50 to 60 have been affected. Now, he only found out this morning when he woke up and he saw a social media post. He said he's very disappointed and obviously is trying his best, desperately trying to find another job. Now, the company also does school runs, as you mentioned there, and despite the bus drivers, this morning having lost their jobs, they still went out and did those school runs because they didn't want the children to be stranded.
Very encouraged to hear that someone took it on their own initiative to go in and fulfil the services, the important services for the school transport and direct services that they do for the county council. That's really heartening and an example of the regard with which the drivers for Yourbus were held, actually.
And Danny, what is going to happen to the bus routes that are affected?
Well, already Derby City Council has secured other bus operators to take on those routes that have been affected. That is as of Monday morning. Now, as for the school runs, so 13 in Derbyshire and 5 in Nottinghamshire, well, they've also had alternative arrangements that are in place, ready to go on Monday.
Danny and Heanor, thank you very much. The bus company Yourbus, that serves Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire, has stopped trading, confirming the news on its Facebook page this morning. The operator ran 23 services across the two counties, as well as a number of school routes. And despite losing their jobs, the drivers still did the school runs this morning because they didn't want the children to be left stranded.
Very encouraged to hear that someone took it on their own initiative to go in and fulfil the services, the important services for the school transport and direct services that they do for the county council. That's really heartening and an example of the regard with which the drivers for Yourbus were held, actually.
Well, in a statement on its Facebook page, Yourbus thanked their customers for their support over the years.
Very annoyed. That was my favourite bus. Yeah, very annoyed. And the drivers were lovely on that bus. Really was. It's a big shape. We all like that bus.
Sad, really, because you've not got the choice then, have you? And I liked the Y5 because it was a quieter bus as well. I think it was electric.
Also tonight, staff who worked for Yourbus are looking for new jobs. The company, which operated routes in Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire, ceased trading today.
Thank you. Next tonight, a Derbyshire-based bus company that has contracts with schools has unexpectedly ceased trading. Yourbus was set up 10 years ago and ran services in Nottinghamshire as well as Derbyshire.
Well, it's not yet known how many people have lost their jobs, but it's clearly bad news. Simon Ward is outside the company's depot in Heanor. Simon, what more do we know this evening?
Well, I spoke to one engineer here today who was only taken on by the company 4 days ago. So he was surprised to be losing his job already, and that was echoed by many people I spoke to today, surprised by what had happened. There's only a brief statement on the company's website, and it says, "With regret, we inform our passengers that unfortunately Yourbus has ceased trading. We'd like to thank our customers for their support and custom over the years. We filmed buses leaving here earlier today, and they've been taken back by the lease company. They were leased to this company, so they certainly acted very quickly."
The local council's been saying.
Well, we do know the bus drivers took children to school today who were served by this company, but Derbyshire County Council, they told us, we're sorry to hear the company's gone into administration. The company had 13 contracts with us. They're working with other operators to get students home. So I do know that all routes are covered by other operators, and it's the same with the 5 Nottinghamshire schools that are also covered by this company. So everyone's trying to get new jobs who worked for this company and hope that other operators take up the routes.
OK, Simon, thank you.
And a bus company has unexpectedly ceased trading. Yourbus was set up 10 years ago at Heanor in Derbyshire and ran passenger services in Nottinghamshire as well. It's not yet known how many people have lost their jobs. Other operators are being sought for school transport. That's your news.